This episode of the Submerged podcast is brought to you by Monsoon Aquatics.
Welcome back, everyone, for another episode of the Submerged podcast. Deep dives and Aussie vibes. I've got both the Sams with me again tonight. How are we, guys?
Yeah, doing good.
Good, thank you. How you got yourself, Jarred?
Good, mate. Yeah, doing well.
That's good.
We've got a pretty cool little episode tonight. I'll talk a little bit more in depth about it soon, but we're pretty much just going to give a bit of a recap and an update on all of our tanks. We've got a few inboxes and stuff, and a few people have asked in person, like, how's your tank going? What have you changed? All that kind of stuff. So I thought we'd address all of our tanks on here tonight and give all the listeners a bit of a rundown.
Yeah, sounds great.
Cool.
So I'm going to give you a bit of a break tonight, Sam, from the trivia to give you a chance to actually get some points.
Say, you say give him a break, that means he now has to answer.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I might get a point, maybe.
Yeah.
You might, yeah.
See how
it's
it goes
a pretty...
Yeah, don't start counting them yet.
I know.
I come across this cool little fact just watching a YouTube video during the week. And I thought that's pretty cool. I wonder if the boys actually know this, and I wonder if any of the listeners know this. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
Hit us.
So we know fish, and there's some fish out there, they're quite unique. With this one, it's a sleeping habit. There's one particular fish that has a really, really weird sleeping habit. I'll let you have a stab at it. If you can guess the sleeping habit, what they do, I'll give you a point, and then I'll give you an extra 2 points if you can tell me what fish it is.
Oh man,
Sleeping habit.
And if you have no ideas, then I'll give you a couple of clues there.
I think I have an idea. I'll see if do you want me to go or Sam?
Yeah. No, please. You go. It might give me the clue I need.
I know there's a couple of species of fish, but they're weird sleeping habits. Hopefully it's the right run. They actually create like a mucus bubble around themselves when they sleep.
Oh, yes, yes.
Not only, I think, stops the scent of predators at night, but also gives them some protection. Am I on the right track?
Spot on. Yep.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, surely there's nothing with a stranger sleeping habit than that out there.
Yeah. And I believe there are species I'm going to go with parrotfish over wrasse. I think they're parrotfish.
Parrotfish. Yep. Correct.
Yeah.
Well done.
Good you go. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
I didn't want to jump in. I didn't know if there was more weird sleeping habits, but I've looked at that one before. It also helps that some of my past research was about fish ecology, so I'm
I thought this one might have been a little bit maybe for the listeners. I had a good idea that you should be on top of this one, but yeah, they make their own little it's like a mucus sleeping bag almost. As the sun starts to go down, they go down the sand bed, they make this little mucus sac that they kind of crawl into and sleep, and like you said, it removes their scent. Like the predators can't smell them or sniff them out. And they sit in that all night, and then they come out of it in the morning and off they go, which is pretty cool, I think. Yeah.
That's wild. Imagine having one in your tank and just like looking at it one day and like, what is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd probably fish it out. I mean, if you came out in the middle of the night and you saw it with this mucus sac around it, you'd be like, oh, I'll get the net and put him in a bag in the freezer and put him in the bin on bin night. The poor bugger's just trying to have a sleep. Yeah.
I know that you can see like through the sack and their eyes move to like response to light and stuff, which is kind of cool, but I wouldn't want that in my tank, cool. I don't think.
And the mucus comes out of their gills too.
Yeah.
I did not think you were going to say gills then. I was like, whoa.
Well,
we don't need this much information.
Kid friendly.
Yeah.
Out of their gills, yeah, right. I guess, they're obviously a little bit snotty.
Bit too much snotty, I reckon. They're a bit sick.
Yeah. Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah. And they're doing that every night. That's got to, it's going to take a bit of effort.
Yeah, and a bit of, just a bit of food source and stuff
Yeah,
to
the energy.
create that mucus. Yeah, exactly. The energy to make it and do it every night. But I guess, it's what keeps you alive. It's kind of important.
Well, every time
True.
that I've ever been camping, I've been very tired after erecting my tent. So,
And then do you
might
make
be
a
the-
mucus sleeping bag or?
yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Nice little fun one for everyone there.
That was a good one. Thanks, Jared.
No worries. Enjoy the night off. You're back onto it next time.
Oh, goodness.
So good news as well. We've got another two Only Reefs $100 voucher giveaways at the end of the episode. So if you listen to this, stay tuned to the end of the episode to see if you're a winner.
Mm.
Mariah's not with us tonight, but she's given us the name. She's done a little raffle draw and she's given us a couple of names, one from Insta and one from Facebook. So we'll reveal those at the end.
Nice. And they're the $100
Sounds
gift
good.
cards per person again?
Yeah. Yep.
Beauty.
The last two.
There's a lot of giveaways to Only Reefs. Very impressive.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think she's gaining a little bit of traffic on that website from what I've seen. So which is great for her because
Yeah.
there's nothing better than kicking a new shop off with a bang. So well done.
Definitely.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So like I touched on at the beginning of the episode, we are going to be talking about all of our tanks. First off, what we'll do is we'll give a bit of a recap for everyone on what our tanks actually are, because I think the last time that we spoke about our tanks were probably a little while ago, 8 or so
Yeah.
episodes ago, maybe
So it was
start of the
probably
season.
Yeah, start of the season, first episode, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we'll just go off what our tanks are, what brands, literage, all that kind of stuff. The rough kind of scape, all that kind of stuff, what we're keeping in there.
Mhm.
And then we'll go down the path of everything that's happened in between, when we first spoke about and when we first introduced ourselves and now what's changed and everything like that as well. So,
Mhm.
Sam Philp, you're the rookie on the panel, not as in hobbyist, but
Not
as
in the hobby, but just a rookie for the newest joining the podcast.
Bit
so
of
I
both, I
thought
reckon.
I would give
No, I don't know about that at all.
no. So I thought I'd give you the floor first to kind of give us a rundown on your tank and what's been happening with it.
Cool,
Yeah.
perfect. All right. Well, my tank that I have at home is a K1200 S2. So it seems to be a lot of them going around. Kadar, fantastic tank. So it's pretty stock standard. What are they, like 480, 500 litres odd? So nothing too big in comparison with your two. But I run Radeon XR15. It's got Gen 5s, just 3 of them. Lighting at the top, I've got 2 MP10s, 2 MP40s for flow, a Vectra L2 return, a Niles skimmer, filter roller, UV. That's probably about it. Some media and heaters and stuff. But as probably you've touched on in some other episodes, my tank is entirely soft coral.
Yeah.
So not a single. I pride myself on this now because I get people go, "Oh, do you want to do a swap and we'll do some trades of corals?" I'm like, "Yeah, sweet. What softies do you want?" And then they try to give me SBS and LPS, and I'm like, "Nah, I can't do that."
This is a skeleton-free zone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no skeletons in this closet. So it is entirely soft coral. So I've got everything from that pretty much I can get on the Australian market. I'd be pretty confident to say. Lots of long polyps, lots of like zoas now growing out, and cabbage leathers and toadstools. Lots of gorgonians. I love my gorgs now. I've got about 7, 8 gorgonians now. And I did pick up a sea noodle, as I think it was named by Sam on the last trip. It's like a gorgonian, but it's like a single long weird thing. It looks like a sea noodle. So it's a sea pen is what it's called.
Does it does it get polyps at all?
It does, yeah. So I wasn't too aware because I hadn't kept them
Okay.
before. So they're very small, and they're like, it's kind of as if the sea pen itself kind of gets a little bit bigger. It kind of expands, and the surface of it kind of changes. It kind of looks like it's got little polyps all over it. But
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Interesting.
so I might have spoiled a bit about the new edition there, but so yeah, it's entirely soft coral. It's a very simple setup. I don't do any dosing, except for just some trace elements that I am lacking from the soft corals. And I just do water changes to keep up with all of the depletions in any of the major, minor, and trace elements. So that's nice and easy. And the fish wise, I've only got about 6 fish still. I did say in a video that Sam recorded on my tank about 7 months ago that I had this plan for these fish and I had plans for expansion. Life has got in the way, let's just say it that much. So,
It's all right.
yeah.
Happens to all of us. Don't worry.
Yeah. So I've still got the same fish. I've added a couple of small wrasse in the tank, McCosker's carpenter, McCosker's and a carpenter flasher wrasse. And I've got
Nice fish.
Yeah, they're both beautiful fish. So I'm now so full of coral that I don't think I can either fit more fish in because there's no swim room, or I can put any more coral. Because one thing I said I was going to do is frag things up, and I also have not done that.
Yes.
So I'm dealing with a
that I
bit of
can relate
coral
to.
warfare. Everything's just touching. It's getting out of
Yeah.
hand. But
How does that go with softies? Are they as aggressive as other corals with coral warfare like that?
definitely not as aggressive. They won't
Okay.
get to the point where they kill. It does seem that when they touch one that's not of the same group, so if they're not like a toadstool or they're not a gorgonian or something
Yep.
like that, they do seem to retract their polyps in those areas. I haven't got to the point where they've got dead flesh, dying flesh.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, because they change and move throughout the day, like they're closed at night, the tank looks empty, and then
Yes.
during the day they open up and they touch a different coral. So
Yep.
nothing major
Yeah. So
at the
when you look
moment.
at the tank at 4:30, you're like, damn, I need to frag the thing. It's out of control. And then you look at it the next day at like 9 a.m. and you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, it looks all right.
I can add more
Heaps of
coral
room.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it needs a trim. I unfortunately in the position at the moment where I don't have space for a tank at my home, and my school tank, which I might maybe touch on briefly, my school tank and frag tank that I had planned at the school, the work that's being done in the room has been delayed. So I'm just sitting there
Yep.
like waiting at the moment. So yeah, I just have a little small mini Reef 120 at school that's also soft corals, couple of clowns, nice and simple.
Lovely.
And then the other tanks I have, do you want to talk about my freshwater? I'll go through all them.
Why not? Give us a run through of the freshwater tanks too.
Okay, I'll give you a very quick run through. So of the tanks that the kids help maintain at school, I think I had 34 at last count. Majority of them have breeding pairs or colonies of electric blue yabbies and shrimp, so cherry shrimp.
Nice.
And then
Separate tanks, I assume.
yeah, so they're in individual tanks. Yeah, all together.
Surely yabbies and shrimp wouldn't work together all that well.
No, so they're all in separate tanks. I've got them all like breeding, so I've got like multiple generations of babies all over the place.
Cool.
And then just some freshwater fish. I've got Australian native fish in one tank. I've got a planted tank. I've got some cichlids in another. I've got a couple of displays around the school and an aquaponics setup. So they've got silver perch and koi in them. So I
Cool.
dabble in a bit of everything, but a lot of them are just waiting for this renovation at school to get done, and then I can do everything as well as the
You can
coral in
breathe
my
out
home
then.
tank.
Yeah.
They need some breathing space.
Yes.
So
fair
that's
enough.
kind of where I'm at the moment, what my tank looks like. In terms of future plans, I think I might have just kind of touched on it there. Do you want me to go through this now while we're doing it?
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
Why not?
Just go for it.
Step into it. Go
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
So the future plans, I do have plans to get a larger frag system at school, which will not only hold my corals from home that I've fragged, but also will hold the corals that are fragged by my students at school. So I do
Awesome.
plan in the coming years to have like like, it would be so cool to set up like a booth at a place that's just like Windsor High, and it's all these students that fragged
That'd be cool
SPS
as.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
And soft corals and things like that. So I think that'd be really cool. So that's
That'd be a big hit, I think.
that's the end plan. Cheap frags, easy corals,
Yep.
and frags. Some of them very good by the kids, some not so good. You should see some of the fragging jobs. We practiced on some dead acro. It's so funny to see the kids with coral cutters and glue. It's a nightmare. It's so much fun though.
There's a bit of a knack to it though, right? Like it takes you a couple of tries to get used to it.
Yeah, I only do it with my year 10s because like my year 9s I think would be too wild. They'd be like gluing their fingers together on purpose. And
Yeah.
But the year 10s, they love it. So they do a whole topic on coral reefs, and they get to frag like dead coral to start. And we've done a couple of smaller SPS colonies. It's just hard.
Nice.
I'm always worried about, zoas, which would be great and easy to frag, but the threat of, palitoxin and stuff. So
Yeah.
I avoid those.
Safety first, particularly in the schoolyard.
Yeah. Oh, the kids, they wear like glasses and they wear gloves.
Of
and,
course.
Yeah, all the PPE.
Yeah.
So don't come at me if you're
No, but I also have a child in high school, and I know that they'll do anything they can to get around those safety measures as well. So I completely understand your resistance to doing zoas. I think it's a good move.
Yeah, so no zoas. But hopefully when I get these softies grown out and in the school, the kids can actually like chop them up and put them on. They can try some different trials of how they settle in low flow and high flow, or
Nice.
if they want to try different methods to attach them and things. So
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's kind of the next plan for the tank, is to get that set up and give some breathing space to my home tank. I would love to get a bigger tank at home, don't get me wrong, but I need a bigger house first. So house first, big tank, custom big tank second.
No, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's funny because my wife walks in and she looks at it and she's like, "Oh, it's really full." I'm like, "Yeah, it is." She's like, you could get a bigger tank. And I was like, "Oh, is that permission?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Sweet. What would fit in that space?" And I'm like, "An 8-foot tank." But it just, it delays the plans for a bigger house. And with a growing family, I think I probably should do the house first.
Yeah.
So you could solve two problems with one solution, and that is the kids are now old enough they can move out on their own, and you can get a big tank. Sorted.
That sounds great. My kids are 5 and 3.
They've learned everything they need to know. They're ready to hit the world.
They're ready to go. That would be brilliant. So I would love, I do want to set up, I want to go custom big and just kind of make it this statement piece in my lounge room, living room. So that's kind of the next plan. I have been doing a little bit more of dosing of trace elements, since we kind of had this chat about trace elements and talked to Chris at East Coast Coral. So I'm dosing a couple of things in my ICP test that was needed, like strontium and bromide and all that for softies, iodine and nickel. So I'm dabbling in that at the moment, which seems to be going well.
Okay.
And in terms of new stock and things like that, I don't really have a plan. So that's kind of just on the back burner. And dosing lots of phytoplankton, copepods, rotifers after our chat about all these. So I've been stepping up my game in that too.
Look at you.
Yeah.
I heard you were very close to getting a completely non-scam weeping willow toadstool.
I didn't get as close to others to this, but I knew from the get-go that it was a little bit sus, especially when he was 15 minutes down the road and I'd never heard of him before.
Exactly.
So there was. So if you didn't see that, guys, there's been some scammers going around selling corals, and the target this time was weeping willow. We don't have them in Australia, at least the Japanese or the proper weeping willow. So I believe some people jumped on it, and it was, I think, released quite quickly before too many people got done.
Yeah. Public service announcement, always be mindful of sending money to strangers online.
Yeah, it gets real sus when you ask to go and view them and they tell you, "Oh, we've just moved." Like, no, you're not allowed in the house. Or, "Can I see videos?" "Oh, no, we don't have those either." And then when they don't put a price on things and they just say, "Oh, just offer." And then you offer and they say, "Oh, I've had more."
Yeah.
Okay.
Multiple strikes.
Yeah, exactly. One issue I have had in my tank, and it's probably the only issue at the moment, and because I've got so much coral and not enough flow getting around the corals, my
Yes.
pinnacle main long polyp toadstool in the center of my tank, in the middle, the stunning long polyp, the base started to die
Oh,
from
no.
lack of flow. So
Yeah, right.
last week, and I haven't shared this with any of you guys anyway, I had to do an emergency surgery where I have sliced off the dead part of the base,
Okay.
attempted to keep the base in its spot, but it's very difficult. And I've decided to at least do some fragging on it. So I've chopped off 8 quite large frags off the colony, and they are all sitting now in a low flow rubble container in my tank, looking very pretty. So they haven't attached just yet. We're only a week in, and the flow in that spot is too much. So I've got to find lower flow for them to attach. So that's the issue there.
What perfect timing when there's multiple people chasing long polyp toadstools, as we found out.
Look, exactly right. And these are legit.
These are legit. Exactly.
Yeah, they're maybe not as long as or as bright as the Japanese weeping willow, but they are long polyp.
But they're real.
They're real.
Yeah.
Real coral.
I promise you, they're long.
Yeah,
they're longer than anything they had because theirs was not real.
Yeah, exactly. Well, theirs were photos from online. I think it might have been kind of reverse search by a number of people and seen that it was a shot from an American, website or something.
An image that was taken 8 years ago or something, and it's like, seems like a strange one to use to advertise coral for sale.
Yeah, exactly. But look, if there are any listeners with real weeping willow, hit me up.
Definitely.
I'll do your swap.
So just to get the image in my head right. So you've got a toadstool that had some. Do you call it tissue necrosis on a softie?
Yep.
I assume you do. It's still tissue and still dying. So you've effectively chopped the trunk and brought it down to the same spot.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
That's exactly what I've done. Yeah. I had this issue in an old tank with a mix when I had softies, and what I found was that a lot of softies would go in low flow because people would be like, they need the acro and those in higher flow. And the bottom or the base, the trunk, whatever you want to call it, or the softie would, get necrosis. They don't have enough water flow around. And the first sign is that they will kind of start to shrivel, but it won't support the base anymore, and it'll start to kind of fall. And then obviously after that, when it's really dead, it then kind of goes like brown jelly, and then it kind of goes black, and and then it breaks apart. So before it got to that point, I did the trunk slice. Yes.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, with a
Position
large
some more
scalpel.
flow at it or something.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to add an MP10, and I've put it back in the same spot, and I've kind of manipulated the flow a bit. So hopefully it works out for me.
Nice.
Yeah,
fingers crossed. I look forward to updates on that one.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted. Hopefully the tank at school will be ready and I can move some frags on. It's always good to have little insurance colonies around, I like. So I'll send a couple to my close mates, and
anyone who's interested in what we're talking about, the intro video to this podcast is actually of Sam Philp's tank. His 2 clowns hiding in a softie there. So
softie, yes.
I've had a lot of questions on that intro, and it is your tank, Sam. So
yeah. I don't even know what the name of that softie is. I can't ID it down to species. So it's a purple thing. And my 2 clowns just host it. They have since it went in. It used to be a 2 or 3 finger little colony that they would go straight in as babies, and then it just grew around them, and then they just stayed in it. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Loving life. It's a nice coral too, and it gives good contrast with the orange of the clowns when they're swooshing about in there. It looks great.
Yeah, and at night, if the coral closes up, sometimes they close up on the fish, and I can't see the clowns. They're just
just stuck in there.
Just lying in there. I'm like, are you alive?
Yeah, just setting up my mucus sleeping bag. I'm good. Yeah.
So for a further rundown of Sam's tank, Sam Parker, you've also done a video on his
Yes,
tank. It was December last year or so. So
I think
yeah,
so.
probably
Yeah.
7, 8 months
Seven,
ago.
8 months.
So,
Yeah.
and like you were saying, not a lot has changed since then. So if
No.
you need the visual,
Mhm.
that's where to go. Go find
You could see
Ian's
that
video.
and just look at probably another 30% growth, and that'd be about where you're at.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe more
Maybe
than
more, maybe
30%
50%.
and
Yeah.
about 20 more corals that I've just thrown in the sand.
Yeah. The
Sounds
one thing
great.
I'm interested with on your tank,
Mm.
when everyone talks about softy tanks, they it's just commonly said it's the easy, it's the entry level, coral tank for most people.
Mm.
Um, but they like flow and they do like light. So what kind of intensity are you running on those XR15s?
So the XR15s are running, I've got 3 of the XR15 Gen 5s. They're running at about 60% of what they could.
Yep.
And I do, if you've seen the video on Sam's channel, I do have an Aquatic Life, like T5 hybrid. So I actually do have additional lights in those that helps with the shading. So I've got white bulbs. I don't have actinic, not blue. I have white bulbs and another one. It's a little bit purpley color
Mhm.
that illuminate the tank even more. And they run for a couple of hours in the middle of the day at that like peak photo period. So
Nice.
they get lots of light. Probably not as much as like an SPS tank, but the tank was set up and designed when I bought it secondhand for SPS to run them
Yep.
all the time. The rock skate was designed for an SPS. I picked up that whole thing that was originally made at Bespoke, but it was part of the secondhand tank. So they're running, quite, I would say not high, but still quite high for softies. And
Yeah.
they grow towards it. They grow out. They plate out like they could do with more. I
Yeah,
reckon I could probably keep dialing it.
exactly.
Mm.
And
Probably don't
then,
want more growth at the moment.
well, no, that's exactly right. I was like, how do I slow this down? um, and then flow wise, the 2 MP40s on either side are on anti-sync.
Yep.
And they are on just random flow at about 80% as well. And there's like this
Yeah.
big whirlpool in the middle of them meeting. 2 MP10s on the back wall that below constant at about 80%.
Mhm.
Just to move detritus off the back. And
So
then
you don't use the ATO then?
no, I don't use it. No, so I've got my
Okay.
the dry sides in the ATO reservoir on the back. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Because I was wondering how you fit MP10s on a Cade tank because it's 19 mil, but the back wall isn't, right? So yeah, okay, I get you.
It's I'm stretching it. I believe it's like on par with the max the MP10 can hold. And if I turn it up
Yeah.
too much, I get a bit of rattling. If I go above, like I'm at probably like 70, 80%. If I go any far above it, it starts rattling. And
Yeah.
yeah. And then the Vectra L2 return just pumps with like a random flow generator at the top, and that's it. Yeah. And they love
Yeah,
it. They
cool.
love flow. Yeah, some of them are under almost direct flow, which for SPS they couldn't deal with, but some of the softies,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's the
they
thing
love
with
it.
softies. People always say that they're fine with low light and low flow. They can deal with it, but they really love high light, high flow.
Mm. Yeah,
It's
and
just
if
that
you
people often think of them the other way when you can blast them. They love it.
yeah,
Mm.
if you'd see them, if you go out on the reef, specifically in the Great Barrier Reef, I've been at multiple islands, and there are softies, like fields of softies, the size of swimming pool, like Olympic swimming pools or footy fields, just covered Sinularia and different like that, a meter below the surface in full
Yeah.
sunlight, in like cranking
Yep.
waves during the tides. Like they
Yep.
they
Yeah.
can
Open
literally
it up.
accustomed to
Yeah.
everything. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, which is so
I
good.
think I
That's
think
why I love them.
the best thing about softies, and I think this is why they get the label as the entry level or the easier coral, is because they're so resilient. They
Mm,
will they'll just adapt to whatever you kind of give them. You can put one light and one
mhm.
wave maker in there, and they'll make do. You could blast them with light and give them a tidal pool in there, they'll make do. So they're just really hardy.
Yeah,
Whereas if you SPS, sometimes you just look at them funny and they just RTN. So
yeah,
like
yeah. That's for sure.
um, yeah. So
what about pest wise? Is there as many pests that go after softies as there is with like LPS and SPS?
I have had a couple of experiences. So the main, I guess, hitchhiker, maybe not a pest. I've had red planaria flatworms.
Oh yeah,
So
Yep.
they haven't been an issue. The wrats have just picked them off. But I've had them come in a couple of
Yeah.
corals that have sometimes smothered the surface of them. They can get to the
I
point in plague
that's-
proportions where they will cover a toadstool and you won't see the color of the toadstool and it'll all be closed up. So
It's mental, isn't it?
yeah, I've seen it a couple of shops, unfortunately, that exact thing. I was like, oh,
right.
it's a cool color. Turns out it was 100% flatworm.
Wow.
So yeah, so there, and the other interesting one I've had come in on a number of Suspicularia, which is like it's more like bluey. It's really hard to describe. It doesn't do so well in my tank, but I've had
Okay.
pests come in multiple times that are actually very similar to Bergian nudibranch, or
Oh yeah.
they're like large, really large.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, nudibranchs that come in that definitely eat Suspicularia, and I've noticed don't eat anything else. They just eat that.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of yeah.
And maybe that's why they don't do so well in your tank.
But maybe I've got more in there I can't see. Yeah, but they seem to just slowly melt away. Everything else is fine,
okay.
but it's just those. So
The nudie looks kind of the same as the coral, does it?
yeah, very camouflaged. It will sit literally on the coral.
Yep.
And like whatever like this is the same for in the wild. A nudibranch that eats
Yes.
corals, they take on the color of the coral. They take in the pigments and everything. So they are very good at what they do, and they've evolved over a very long time to do that. So they're very hard to see. So a lot of the time, I would only pick them up in a dip, and I don't always dip my softies. So yeah.
Yep.
So
Even I'm not sure if you saw actually I do know you saw Monsoon Aquatics, our season sponsor, had their nudibranch Aptasia eating nudibranch.
Yeah.
And there was some footage of them eating Aptasias, like pretty good macro footage of them eating it. And you can see the pigment from the Aptasia entering the body
So
of
cool.
the nudie. It's crazy.
It's crazy to watch when you can see it go in, like literally
under
the
and it just kind of like dissipates into the body, like, and then the color's there. And Juno even says, if the nudie's fairly white, it's quite hungry, and if it's got brown, basically like eyelashes, like the frills on it, she goes, that means it's been eating Aptasia.
That's cool,
and when you actually see them eating it, and it looks like something off like a horror movie, like a zombie, like sucking a brain out or something. Like you see all the vitamins and goodness from the Aptasia just getting absorbed
out of it. Yeah,
it's so cool.
That announcement, how bloody groundbreaking for Australia to have the equivalent of that.
Really cool.
Aptasia, that's unreal.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of people saying, "Oh yeah, but wrasse will eat them and this and that," and I'm like, yes, they possibly will. But how many tanks out there that can't have your other options? Like you can't have stripies for multiple reasons, or can't have peppermint shrimp because you might have a hogfish or hawks or something in there.
Yeah,
you can have these. Like the more tools we have for these solutions, the better. It's fantastic. Is it a silver bullet that fixes everything for everyone? Of course not.
Yeah,
but it's a bloody good weapon, and they've done a great job making it available to us all.
It's another thing, like it's a good biological weapon against these things. Like so many people come in for like Aptasia X, or they want to try and kill them all with chemicals and treat the tank and stuff. But you've got one thing that eats it and it only.
Yeah, how good?
Why not? Yeah,
especially if you go for a stripey or a copper band butterfly or something, like they shift onto coral. Unfortunately,
exactly.
Yeah, so cool.
I'm going to feed into your addiction a little bit here, Sam, and you did touch on a little bit there on what a new tank would look like. So let's just say that you've just moved into your brand new house.
Yeah.
What's a new tank look like? What's the size? What's the equipment? What would you do?
Oh, my days! We'll be here for hours. I think anything when you get to the 8-foot size has a real presence. So it'd have to be bigger than 8 foot. I originally, when I was looking at building a new house, putting it in wall tank and doing that whole setup, and I thought that would be cool, but I would prefer to have it peninsular. so you could get multiple viewing
lovely.
angles. I would probably still stick with the softy route, but I would probably go even more crazy with the Gorgonians. I just love Gorgonians.
Yeah.
I would go probably a little bit like Hadley's tank with like the mangroves coming out of the tank, make it like a real like ecosystem with the mangrove roots coming down
Cool.
to the rocks. And then I would probably, because it would be preferably a shallowish tank, not super shallow, but I would be a lot easier to target feed. And then I would probably kind of delve into like the MPS stuff.
Yeah, cool.
And then make it
Then
like
you can get the really pretty Gorgonians.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All the
Like, if you think
blues and purples and oranges.
Yeah, the colors on those non-photosynthetic Gorgonians are crazy.
Yeah.
They're such a tease because you see them and you go, oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But
it's the same
it's
as the carnation corals. I think that's what they're called.
yes,
Also
yes.
non-photosynthetic.
Bright, crazy colors.
Orange,
Yeah.
blue, like,
Yeah.
Like that would be cool to have at least a section in the tank, like a darker section or a do like a whole like daylight, nighttime to daytime in one tank. Like that would be cool.
You could like hard feed a dosing line in there and have like a near constant feed of phyto just going in around them.
Yeah, exactly.
Be awesome.
That would be that's the dream. But it's a lot of would be a lot of work and a lot of maintenance and all the rest of it. But one day,
money too, no doubt.
One day. But thank you for feeding my addiction. Now I'll go do a bit more research and see if I can actually do this.
Just planting the seed, mate. Just making sure it happens one day for you.
Oh, brilliant! All right, well, that's me kind of
I'm
done.
just going to start sharing stuff to you into your inbox. Look at this.
Stop! Don't. There are some. I've got some great inspiration tanks, mostly overseas. Europe do like saltwater NPS and like macro algae tanks. So cool as well. So Danny's Aquarium on YouTube. I'm sure some listeners have watched Danny's Aquarium.
Nice.
Is like mangrove and all his air plants and ferns and rock pools and amazing.
Is he the one with like the roof is like kind of a it might that's the one. It's like a pitched roof and he's got these lights hanging from different
it's like all
I have seen that.
It's cool, hey.
I've seen that.
He's done a couple
cool
other tanks. He's like built one into like the wall down on like foot level and he's like doing that up and it's pretty cool some of the stuff he does.
He's got some macro algae and stuff in that tank as well, I think.
It's like
majority as much
macro.
coming out of the tank as in the tank, really.
And another tank of inspiration while we're talking about these seeds. Another YouTube, Ants Canada is his name. I think he's based in the Philippines. He does these paludariums, vivariums, and he's recently set up a saltwater one that I think it's like an oceanarium. It's got like he's got the tide in his system, so it goes up and down throughout the day. Like mangroves to rock pools to muds. He's got like was playing to mud skippers and stuff. So
I'm looking at his page now. I've actually looked at this stuff previously for the ants, which is where I'm assuming he started.
That's so he's got these ant colonies and he has these massive tanks that he sets up colonies on two sides of a river and just watches them progress, and it's really cool. But
that's very cool.
Dabbled in saltwater, so if you're interested in some weird tanks that he's setting up, he's coming in from a total like never kept saltwater before to like setting this up. It's cool.
Awesome.
I'm also just getting super itchy because I just saw one video there, fire ants versus a chicken head. And now I can feel fire ants all over me.
They're coming for you.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, I love that you do softies and talking to you about softies because it's one thing that I've never really, like I've had a couple of softies in tanks and stuff, but I've never dedicated a tank to one. And I know I learn a lot from you about softies. And I think you're also like on a path that not a heap of people are on for, I don't know what reason. And I like that you're making it cool that people want to follow your footsteps too, which is
I think so. I think I've seen a couple of comments recently and I did comment on one that Eastwood put out being like, softies are back in, I think was the comment that
Yes.
they made.
Yeah.
And then I was like, they left?
They were never out. Yeah.
They're always in, for me anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
not everyone shares that. But get on the softie train, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think I might step in now. I'll have a bit
Yeah,
of
you're up, Jared.
Yeah,
Tell us about your stuff.
my tank.
Gonna
Yeah.
be
So
almost the opposite of mine, I reckon.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a 7 foot, it's just over 7 foot water box. It is the water box 340.7. It is, what is it? It's coming up to 2 years old, but it doesn't look like it's 2 years old because I've gone through a few mishaps with it.
Yeah.
But I have over the top of it, I've got a custom lighting rig that moves up and down, much like Sam's. It's on a what do you call it? It's like a sit stand desk that I've rigged up upside down that goes up and down. And I've got 6 refactory large lights and 2 refactory small lights. And just recently I've just added 2 AI blade grows. Grows are the blue ones, right?
No, they glows.
The glows are the purpley ones. The
I've got
grows
glows.
are the full. Yeah, glows. Yep.
Yeah, I've got glows. And I've just recently added them on as well. Tank also runs a custom Dreams Plus acrylic sump with its own separated refugium off to the side of the sump. It's all housed underneath the tank.
That's so cool. I'm so jealous of that. The refugium part, well, the whole thing, but the refugium part especially.
I love my refugium now.
Yeah.
But no one else has the love for refugiums, I don't think, because like I open up the doors, like family come around, they're like, "Oh, the tank looks so good," and I'm like, "Check out this." They're like, "What is that?" So yeah, I like the idea was like I've always been a tech guy, so I've always had like a lot of equipment in my sumps and stuff, and refugiums are dirty and ugly and stuff at times, and I just wanted to keep it separated from the sump itself. And I have a certain way that kind of water pumps through it and then enters back to the sump as well. So, it was a bit of a design I had in my head for quite a while. But once this tank was, came about, it was time to do it, because I really didn't like the layout of the water box sump. So this was the way to go. In the Dreams Plus sump, I've got a huge, ridiculously sized roller mat. It's 300 mil by 500 or 600 mil wide.
It's a monster.
It is a monster. I run refactory pumps, big 120 watt Pentair. What am I missing? I refactory doses.
Did you say skimmer?
Oh, well, I'll get to that because it's just changed fairly recently. So I will get to that one. I'll add that in.
Nice.
But I currently still dose Aquaforest Component 123 Pro. But I'm finding that so 2 things here. I'm consuming way more of certain elements than I am the other. And Aquaforest Pro it's a balling method. So you're meant to dose it all equal part. Otherwise you throw all your trace elements out. And my system just won't allow that. Like I'm actually dosing 0 magnesium and I have been for 2 months, still sitting at 1500.
Yep.
And my calcium is just being depleted like crazy. So, I will, once I finish this calcium and alk bottle, I will convert over to East Coast Corals and then start dosing all my trace by hand, which I've already started kind of doing with some. I'll get to that next on things that I've changed as well.
Nice.
And wave makers, I've got hundreds of wave makers on this thing. I've got
they're everywhere.
They are everywhere. I've got 4 MP40s and 2 MP60s. And then also 2 refactory 30s also on the back wall. So
Mhm, mhm.
yeah.
Nice.
I've also got wave makers in my refugium and in my sump as well to keep everything suspended. So yeah,
Nice.
my power bill is insane. Um, um, other than that, so it's a SPS system. I've got a branching rock scape that I built myself, bare bottom, and just starting to really kind of take off a little bit right at the moment with my little SPS frags.
Yeah, it's
Probably
good to
got maybe
see.
over 100 frags in there now.
Wow.
Oof.
Just slowly been adding bit by bit. You guys saw it when you were down. What was it, a month, 2 months ago?
Wasn't 100 in there then, though.
No, no,
There was a lot, but there wasn't 100.
no. Well, it's hard to kind of lose track on how many corals you
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
got. Like you look at it, you go, yeah, I probably got 20 or 30. And that's what I thought to myself today. And then I actually counted and I'm like, yeah, there's like nearly 100. It was like 90 something frags.
Yeah. You added
Um,
20 or 30 that weekend after we left.
I did,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
We did a bit of a shop crawl on the way to the airport, I think it was.
Yep.
And yeah, I grabbed a bunch then, and I've routinely just been popping into a couple of shops. And
Nice.
actually, I got a Gallery Aquatica little shipment today.
Oh,
Ooh,
nice.
nice.
I actually got myself some branching coral line,
Yeah.
which I saw, and I was like, oh, I've got to get me some of that. That stuff's cool as. Put it in my tank, and it was dinner for all my rabbit fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately, they all surrounded it and just went to town on it, and so I quickly got it out and got it into the refugium, which is not the end of the world because the refugium is kind of a display in itself down there, so it'll look cool
Yep.
down there.
Yeah, nice.
Do you reckon it was actually the algae that they liked the taste of, or they were just because it was something new and they'll come and inspect new things
No.
anyway?
Well, I have seen them kind of eat the slime coat off coral
Yes.
before,
Yes.
but as soon as I just put it in like a little coral holder on the base of the tank. It was immediate. I put it in there. By the time my hand was out, they were all three. So I've got 2 rabbit fish and a fox face. All 3 of them surrounded. No other fish cared.
Yeah, right. Just the
Mhm.
rabbits.
These 3 just went, and I saw them actually eating chunks off it.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, well, it's not safe in here. So out
No.
it comes, which I didn't expect. I know they eat algae, but
You wouldn't think
It's-
that'd be the algae of choice, no.
no, I haven't even seen them. When I had a hair algae outbreak, they did nothing.
Yeah, I was going to
Bastard.
ask if there's any other algae in the tank for them to eat, but
No. So
yeah.
that was my hold up with this tank. I originally there's a video when we've spoken about it there, like earlier in the season, that this tank, when it was set up new, there was a big crash when I tried to bring all of my coral from my other house into this house. Didn't go to plan. Set the tank up again. Had a bryopsis outbreak followed by a hair algae outbreak, which
Yeah.
fluconazole would kill on my coral and not kill the algae. So I ended up having to just wipe the tank myself with like an algicide and then start fresh, start scratch. But in doing so, I killed off all the beneficial bacteria in my tank again. So it was almost sterile. It was almost like almost a whole new cycle. I even had an ammonia outbreak from that, which I lost a few fish from. So
no.
tough little bit of tough time starting off with this tank, but I've
Yeah.
come out the other side now, which is good. So
And strong
Great
one.
to see.
yeah, some of the coral
Absolutely.
I've got in this tank is impressive. It's really starting to take off.
Saw some
and
photos, mate. You got a bit on the photography.
Yeah. Looking a treat.
yeah, I bought a camera off Facebook Marketplace, and just decided I'll give it a go. I've tried a few things. I like Sam, I've tried the DSLR
Yes,
and
yes.
couldn't really get my head around to get the settings right, and even the iPhone with the lens and stuff. But I picked up this Olympus and put it underwater, snap away, and edited it
That's a treat.
on Lightroom, and easy days. So yeah,
Right.
Beautiful.
makes a big difference, that thing. So yeah.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, so on the changes or the new additions, I should say, to the tank. Firstly, the skimmer. I had a Octo Elite 220S, I think it was. Great skimmer, excellent skimmer. Probably one of the best skimmers I've ever had.
Nice.
And the only reason why I changed is because I saw the Sea Torch skimmer come out, which is very, very similar to what the Octo was. Like all the little features and stuff on it was very similar. But I've just liked what Sea Torch have been doing for a little while now. And I nearly, when I set the other tank up, I nearly got myself one of the Sea Torch Beast skimmers.
Oh, yep.
But it was just the fact that it wasn't a DC pump and it didn't have a few things. But as soon as this thing was out, I was just like, okay, this skimmer's done its time. It's time for a new one. And I've got, I should have written this down, but I've got the Sea Torch Pro 250, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
Does it have a similar footprint to the Octo?
Similar footprint, but this one's got an external pump on the outside of the skimmer body. But yeah, it's actually probably got a bigger collection cup. But yeah, other than that, and the cool thing about the Sea Torch skimmers is you can kind of configure them in different ways where you can have the intake or you can have the pump on this side or that side. And yeah, it's kind of cool how you can kind of make it fit your sump.
Yeah, you get a few configurable options, don't you? It's not just this is what it is. Either it fits or it doesn't. It's like, well, if it doesn't fit this way, you could put it over there and you could do this and you could do that. And then eventually through all the options, you generally find a way to make it fit.
Yeah. I've got to say, the build quality is second to none. I have not ever seen, I've had everything, Sea Torch, I've had Deltec, I've had the Octo, titanium screws, heavy. Like it's physically heavy, the acrylic on this thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is a really well made skimmer, and it out of the box, it just skimmed immediately. I've never, everything always has that bed in period, but this thing just pulled skim out immediately. So
yeah, wow.
Yeah, I love it.
Has it been running long on the system?
Probably about 4 months or so now.
Well tested by now.
Yeah, well
tested. Yeah. And I love the external pump. I've only cleaned it once because I actually had a snail crawl into the little the intake there, and I was just wondering, why is this thing not skimming properly? It's just blowing bubbles. It's not.
Yep.
So I had to actually get that pump out, and it literally was just a union. Pop it off, pull the pump out, pop the little intake off, clean it with a toothbrush, back in.
Great.
I'm very jealous of the external pump.
It was so good. Yeah.
I wish I had the room for that because, that makes life a lot easier.
Yeah. I had a snail literally Sunday night in it, when you're just sitting there in your living room watching TV and then that god-awful noise starts and you're like, there's a snail in my return. Yeah. It was in the return, not the skimmer. And it just, you had to
slowly getting ground up.
Yeah. And I know I've had them in my skimmer before as well without an external pump, and it is a nightmare.
Yeah. Which I don't know how a baby trocher snail gets past a 3x500 mil roller mat, but it was in the sumps.
They'll find a way.
They find a way. Exactly.
They will.
They do.
The other new, I also said I've got the two blades on the tank, but I'd also put a refugium blade over the refugium. Where I was just using a very basic generic light, just a white light in there before. The blade refugium light is growing Chato like I think I offered it to you guys the other day. I'm like, come pick some of this stuff up. It's
really kicked it into gear.
Oh yeah, like every week I have to cut a good chunk out. So it's and it's stripping nutrients now too, which is good. Not to zero, but
but it's
right in my sweet spot. I'm like 0.05 phosphates and hovering around 15 nitrates, which is bang on where I would ask it to be.
Yeah.
Whereas
Nice.
probably before the Refugium was doing anything, I was probably 0.15 to 0.20 phosphates and maybe around 30 nitrates. So
Yep.
it's
Yep.
more than halved them. So yeah, doing really well. But the other thing I've also just recently added is a full Neptune Apex system to my tank.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got the
Oh.
Trident. I've got a few different modules. I've got like the leak sensors. I've got a few flow sensors. Yeah, it was really just a trial because at Bespoke, doing a couple of customs and stuff, I just thought, if I'm going to offer this stuff, I need to get my head around it. I know most of the other automation and all of that kind of stuff in the industry, but I've never actually run a Neptune properly. So, let's see what it has to offer, and took one home, and it's been really good, especially just maybe for the Trident side of it.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
watching the trends on the calcium mag alk, which is really good. So I'll probably expand on that, knowing myself. I'll have every switch, every bell and whistle that you can have for Apex fairly soon, I would imagine. But it's been very helpful. I've also the calcium reactor I've also just turned on as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's actually taking CO2 as we speak, which it's only happened probably maybe a week now that I've actually turned it on, and it's only at a high pH still. Like I'm running at about 6.8 pH
Fine.
at the
Still
moment.
supplementing quite a bit. That's
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah, I've noticed I had to have like dialed back the dosing just a little bit. So
Yeah, good. Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Working a
um,
treat.
yeah, and big calc was a stirrer. I upgraded from a little one to a big one, and just getting a little bit more calc in there, just to be ready for the calcium reactor to really take over.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, Christmas in
Counteracts
July
that.
at Jarred's place.
Yeah, I reckon.
yeah, yeah, no, I think I'm the kind of person when the tank is doing well, I'm happy to kind of treat it and give it what it needs.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, I get that.
Yeah, it's yeah, like I feed the addiction again, like we were saying before. But yeah, just I don't know, make things a little bit easier for myself as well. And I really
Yeah.
wanted to see it kind of succeed this time around. So why not? So
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's looking a treat. What's the next plans for you had more coral? What's next?
Yeah.
yeah, I'll just keep adding bits and pieces of coral into the system. Maybe a couple every week to see, depending what's around. I'm always scouring the internet for prized pieces.
Yeah,
Um,
nice.
so I've recently just put a couple of more fish into the system as well.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So anyone who knows my tank knows that I had my favorite fish was my emperor angel,
Yes.
who passed in that ammonia spike, but I've just replaced him with a new emperor angel.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Slightly smaller, but he's adult colors. But he the best thing about it, he has the exact same personality, which is
Yeah, right.
so good,
That's so
so
good.
good. He's already swimming up to my hand and like brushing himself against my hand and
Yep.
watching me glue frags in, and um, he's so particular with his foods as well. Like he will not touch pellets at all. Does
Oh,
not.
really?
So it's like dinner for everyone else and then dinner for him. And he
Yep.
lets me
Yep.
know about it too. Like he'll just sit at the front of the tank while everyone's eating. He just stares at me. So yeah, he's great. And just put a blue angel, not a blue face, a blue angel. So
Yeah. Okay.
much like the queen angel, but
Yep.
a little bit less yellow through the body, more blue.
Yes.
I was holding out for a queen angel, but the photos that I got back from the supplier, they were just maybe a little bit too small. I tried a queen angel before, and it being so small and timid, got bashed up a little bit, didn't quite make it.
Yep.
So I thought this blue angel's a good size. If it does well, then I might try another queen again down the track, a similar size. But yeah, it's been doing great. Like him, it's a funny thing happening at the moment. Him and the Emperor are very similar sizes on the larger side. And they're not fighting, but they're just sizing each other up. Like
Yeah.
they're swimming right next to each other, just
Yeah,
trying
right.
to figure out who is the boss without, just going to town on each other, which is pretty cool to watch.
Interesting. Just flexing each other's biceps at each other. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like two gym bros at the gym in the mirror,
Yeah.
just each flexing up. So yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't
good.
eventuate into anything.
I've been watching it very closely. I've got the isolation box ready
Yep.
to go, but it hasn't eventuated in anything. There's been no nipped fins. There's no marks or anything. Both look healthy. Both are eating. It's just every now and then you just see them swim towards each other and they just swim side by side like
Yeah.
this
Yeah, right.
around, and and that's it. And then they just go off their separate ways again, which is I'm waiting for it, but hopefully not. I've
Yeah.
seen this happen before with a few angels before, and eventually they just sort it out and they go, "Okay, you're the boss. I trust you," and they go on. But
Yeah.
it's just going through a bit of a size up at the moment.
Yeah, it's got to work out the pecking order, and hopefully they both agree on who's the boss and who's the 2IC.
Yeah, 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 and anything else to come? No, not really. I'll just keep adding more coral.
Mhm.
I will slowly turn up that calcium reactor as the tank needs it.
Any certain pieces you're on the hunt for?
Yeah.
I need a nice Walt Disney piece.
Mhm.
I've been waiting. I've got a spot for a Walt Disney piece just because it kind of sits between certain colors. I've got the
Yeah,
right
yeah.
spot for it.
Nice plan.
I don't know, just weird and wonderful. Actually, I would really, if anyone knows or has seen it about, I want a piece of that green echinata, not the blue. I've got
Oh,
the
yep,
blue.
yep.
It's more on that fluoro green color with the bluish tips. I
Yes.
need that again. I miss
Yeah.
having that. Yeah, and then just like some weird and wonderful. Sam, I was telling you today, next time that you frag up a bit of pink bird's nest, which is not a super desirable coral for a lot of people, but I don't know. I love it. I love
Yeah,
bird's
yeah.
nest, and
It's
I
nice.
think when you have them in and amongst each other, they all just kind of make each other pop.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, whatever pops up, I've got a lot of the colors that I want now. Now it's just going to be, just those pieces that catch my eye and stuff. Some different. Every time that Sonny puts a post up on Eastwood Facebook page, it's almost like, all right, well, there goes the
Off
next
we go.
paycheck. Yeah,
Yeah.
might actually go visit her tomorrow. Say hello.
Yeah, say
Take
hello. Yeah.
bucket full.
Okay.
Yeah, and as it grows, it sounds stupid, but probably we'll need some more wave makers as well eventually.
Yeah.
Cross flow. I don't have all of my wave makers are on the back of the tank.
Yep.
It does look nice that way, though. Keep it off the.
It is. They're hidden. They're clean, but
This is
I
very
think
clean.
eventually they are going to get hidden. So I will need that cross flow, maybe
Yeah.
two MP60s either end, doing that pulse back and forth to get just that washing machine
Yeah, nice.
flow happening. Yeah, that's really about it for my tank.
Very nice.
No real changes. I just want to let it do its thing now and
You've
keep
had all
going.
the changes. Now you're just
have.
cruising now. Yeah.
Yeah, cruise mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my favorite mode. The only thing I miss with the cruise mode is like you kind of get all the coral that you want, and then it's
Yes.
kind of like you're spending.
Gotta wait.
The spending is great. The not spending is great, I should say.
Yeah, I was going to say,
But
what?
The hunt for the pieces kind of goes away, and
It's the thrill of the chase,
that's-
isn't it?
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds crazy that you can feel like a 7 to 8 foot tank, with 100 or so pieces, then not have any more room for coral, but it happens quicker than you think.
It always happens quicker than you think. Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
And I've made the decision that there will be no frag tanks in this house because I've tried it before, and I don't know. It's just like I have this syndrome where only one tank can look good at all times, not
Yep.
two.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like the frag tank will be pumping, and then the main tank goes on the back burner, or vice versa. So
It's a common problem.
it is. It really is. It's
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
sad problem because you'd really like your main tank to be the bonsai for the
Yep.
frag tank, so
Mhm.
you can kind of share all these cool and wonderful pieces,
Yes.
but they just don't coincide with each other. I've even tried plumbing them together, and
Yeah.
just never quite
Like I
happens for
said,
me. But
it's a common problem. I know a number of people that have got frag tanks here, even plumbed through to the same water, and it just doesn't seem to work the same way. It's
Strange, isn't it?
mysterious. Yeah.
yeah,
And then other people, it works perfectly. So who knows?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there won't be that. But I'll just put a little frag rack in the tank and share some
Yeah.
frags with friends when I need to bonsai a little bit. Yeah, but
Nice.
yeah, I guess the other good thing about this tank, this setup, is I've really honed in on my trace. I think we all have a bit of a common theme here where we've all spoken to Chris at East Coast Corals, and he's got us on the trace bandwagon. And I've identified that I was low on iodine, fluoride, potassium, strontium. So
Mhm.
I've started dosing those.
Same,
I'd say
actually.
fairly heavily to try and get things. And the color and the growth has just gone through the roof.
Yeah, nice.
Almost to the point where you can see the difference week on week,
Wow.
which is great, which is
Mm.
really good, especially for a tank that had, I couldn't even keep coral alive, but for a good period there had no color and no polyp extension to now
Yeah, yeah.
fully colored and great polyp extension, which is
It's
just
impressive.
good signs and stuff. And I'm just happy to be on track again, enjoying the tank, which is the main thing for me.
It's
So,
important.
and if a
Excellent
couple
news.
of fish off my list pop up, I'll purchase those. But yeah, just focusing on the coral just for now. So yeah.
Fair call.
Sam Parker, your turn. Give
My
us the
turn.
lowdown.
Yeah. I've got a couple of tanks on the go now, which is something I haven't planned on doing for a while. I at one stage I was up to, I think, to 7 tanks in the house, which was just getting way out of hand. And yeah, it literally was out of hand to the point where some of them were really suffering because they just weren't getting the time and energy they should have. So I pared things back to 1 tank, which is my dream reef tank. And then I did add another tank I'll talk about in a second. But yeah, my dream reef tank's a custom build. It's 2.1 meters by 90 centimeters by 75 centimeters. It's about 1,400 liters. It's set up as a mixed reef. I say mixed, although I don't really have many softies, to be fair, in there. I've got a couple of Rhodactis and things throughout there, but it's mostly SBS and LPS. It's been running, it's coming up on 6 years now. Actually seems longer than that because there was probably a year's planning before the tank actually started running. So it feels like it's been 7 years, but it's actually only 6. Where do we start? All right. So hardware wise, lighting, above the tank, I've got 3 Philips Coral Cares. I've got 4 AI blades. I've got 2 of the Grow, 2 of the Glow. I've got 2 Kessel 500 A500s and 2 Kessel A360s on it as well. So fair bit of light above there, but I must admit, I turned them down a little bit, which is the first time ever. Normally I run all of my lights at 100%. I turned them down in summer when we had a little bit of a heat wave there. I turned them down to about 80, 85%. And I haven't turned them back up and just went, yeah, that's fine. So there is a fair bit of light up there, so it's par's not an issue or anything like that. Flow wise into the tank, I've got 5 MP60s. What have I got? 1, 2, 3 MP40s, 2 Nero 7s, and 2 of the big Tunsies in the tank. So decent number of wave makers in there, although much like Jarred was talking about, and even Sam as well, realistically could do with more flow. And I'll talk about that when we get to some of the challenges or things that going on with the tank. It's artificial rockscape, Carib Sea rockscape, a couple of sort of big sort of arches, almost like a offset slanted McDonald's M, I guess. Just instead of it being a perfect M shape, they're separated and offset on a bit of an angle, but realistically, a couple of arches there. I do run sand in my tank, although at the moment a lot of it's sort of pushed back from the flow from the back wall. Sump-wise, it's a custom Hamali sump. Equipment in there, it has a filter roller. I also run a Sea Torch skimmer. Absolutely love that thing. It does very, very good work. I'm fortunate enough to have mine plumbed in to the drain and have a neck cleaner on it as well. So I rarely have to touch it, which is great news because
Nice.
because mine is absolutely shoehorned into the space that I have in the sump. And when I do have to pull it out to clean it, it's a little bit of a challenge. So hearing Jarred talking about just popping the pump off his and lifting that out absolutely has me envious. But thankfully, like I said, with the plumbed into the drain with the neck cleaner and stuff on there, I don't have to do that too often. I too run a refugium, run a Calerpa-based refugium. I've got a Kessel refugium light on there. That does pretty good. It grows a fair bit of algae. This is realistically the only refugium I've ever ran, and I've only ever ran the Kessel refugium light on it, so I can't compare it to other lights, but it seems to work pretty good. I always think when I give it a trim, I don't feel like I'm pulling that much algae out of it. And then when I put it in the bag and then I take it to Deer Park Aquarium and I tip it out of that bag and it feels like once it sort of decompresses out of the sandwich bag, it feels like a 2-foot cube. And I go, oh, yeah, it was a pretty decent trim. Fair bit there. So it does grow a bit of algae. Past the refugium, just got some ceramic media, and then into a couple of Abiz pumps. One doing sort of accessories loop and one doing return. The accessories loop has a UV and a chiller on it, as well as a GFO reactor coming back in its system. And then the other one's just dedicated into the return. Where do we go from there? That's most of the equipment. Similar to Jarred, I've got a motorized light frame. I've got a motorized canopy on there too, so I can open up the doors, I guess, to the roof of the tank, let it breathe a little bit, which I do most of the days. And then when I want to watch a movie or you're having dinner and you don't want to, feel like you're in a blue light disco, you can just close those doors up and keeps all that light and noise and things all nicely contained. Inside the tank itself, like I said, it's a bit of a mixed reef. It's got a fair bit of SBS in there, a decent amount of LPS, and a very small sprinkling of some softies in there. Fish-wise, tanks had a little change of fish over the years. A lot of the fish I brought from my previous tank that I ran for a good 7 or so years beforehand. So some of those fish had definitely started to get on in age. And then, as you guys know, and anyone listening at home will know too, particularly when you're talking some of your big dogs in the tank, when you lose sort of like the boss of the tank, that can upset hierarchies. And then I guess it's no different to the underworld out there. The chase to be the new mafia boss creates all sorts of fights, and then a bit of a cascade of fish. So it has had a little bit of change of fish over the years, but a few nice tangs in there. My purple's been with me for probably the full 13 years. I got a gem tang in that I've had for a long time too. Mustard. Some of the newer fish I've put into that tang is a swordtail tang. He's pretty cool. I only really got him because I've never seen him in other people's tanks. I wouldn't say he's the prettiest fish in the world, but he's all right, and he's something different, which I like. And the big guy I've got in there now, which replaced my old Atlantic Blue, which was my big sort of boss of the tank. I've got a Flamingi in there, which is a pretty cool fish.
Oh, nice.
pretty expressive. When he eats, he gets like his colors change and he gets this like real like eyebrow coloration, and it's very expressive. I was going to say a little fish, but he's pretty big to be fair. um, and then some of the smaller fish, I've got some chromis in there that I've had for flipping years. They're big aggressive school of chromis that I've had for many years. I don't have the issues with the chromis picking each other off, but I do have issues with them fighting each other and anyone. They're a psycho little school of fish, but they're big. The chromis are big. I do like chromis though, so I'll hang on to them. And I've got my for now. Another fish I've had a long time is my sort of showpiece fish, which is my hybrid angel. I've had him for not full 13 years, but probably 10 or 11. Which again is another fish you just don't see all that often. There's definitely a few in the country, but it's not like a blue tang you see in almost everyone's tank or something like that. It's even people that have been in the game for a while are like, what kind of fish is that one? And I like that, just something to keep people guessing a bit. Have added some new fish that I'll talk about a little bit later. Probably talk about my other tank now, give you a bit of a background on that.
Nice.
And that came about because, because of my YouTube channel, I get the opportunity to get my hands on products and to do reviews on them. And sometimes you get things that you just can't, it doesn't suit your tank. And whether you have a small tank or a big tank, if you've got a big tank and you get a small skimmer that you've got to do a review on, it's difficult to find a tank to put that on, because it's stupid putting a skimmer that's good for 150 litres on a 1,500 litre tank and then going, well, it doesn't work very well. It just doesn't make sense. So I did get sort of to the point where I needed to set up another tank, and it wasn't a very hard twist of the arm, I will confess, because as anyone who has a reef tank knows, everything is a compromise in this game. You can't have this fish with that fish, or you can't keep these fish with that type of coral, and all of these things. So when I got the opportunity to set up a second system, I wanted to do something sort of polar opposite to what my dream reef tank was. And I set up a UN Systems R60, which is, it's a pretty bougie little tank, to be honest. It's kind of almost a level up on Cade, for an off-the-shelf style system. This one's only a little one. It's 120, 130 litres, something like that. Really nice little tank. And when I set that up, I decided I wanted to go for some sort of predator-style, nano-sized predator fish, and go completely soft coral, which would sort of work with a predator fish because they will tolerate a little bit more nutrient.
I approve.
And definitely. And it's been a super cool system. So built that, I say built it, it's a pre-built system, but pieced it together with that sort of in mind. And it exists at my local fish shop because I didn't want to have another tank here. I've got a Monday to Friday job. I have a growing family. I've got a YouTube channel, which takes a lot of my time. And I also help
and a podcast.
And a podcast, yes. I also work one day a week. I say work. I hang around at my local fish shop one day a week on Saturdays. So having another tank at home was probably, I knew I was going to go down the path of not getting the time to put into it. So I had a chat to my mate Dave, who owns the local fish shop, Deer Park Aquarium, and said, can I set it up here? And then, I come in Saturday, I can do a water change, give it a clean, test the water, do all the stuff you would normally do on it. The tank can be here and other people can see it and enjoy it as well. Nice. He was fine with that. So it worked out well. So effectively, the time that I spent on the tank was time that I was already dedicating to the hobby anyway, in that I was already at my local fish shop.
Yeah, nice.
And that little system's cool. It's got a reef factory light above it. It's got a little secondhand Tunzi wave maker I put in there. That's all the wave makers, all the flow down into the sump. It's got just filter socks, which I just sort of rinse out once a week and put them back in. It's got a little mantis skimmer on it, and I think it's got a reef factory return pump. works a treat. Really cool little system. It's full of soft corals, as I mentioned. I couldn't even tell you the species of them. Just
I couldn't either. Don't
anything,
worry.
anything squishy that was in the shop that, you get assorted soft corals, just like all come in. They're like $60 each, sometimes even less. And you're like, yep, that looks cool. That looks cool. That looks cool. Let's stick them in. They've all done well.
Nice.
The only one that's struggling a little bit is a customer gave me a toadstool that they said they'd had it for 2 years and it's never opened. I've had it for probably a year now and hasn't opened for me either. So I don't know. Maybe it's a type of toadstool that doesn't open. Who knows?
Maybe it's got no polyps.
Maybe, I don't know what it's doing, but yeah, it hasn't opened for me. It looks like it's going to. It gets like almost little pimples on the top, but it just doesn't send the shoots out. Anyway, everything else looks great in there. It's growing really well. I've got a couple of fish in there. I've got a new one I'll talk about in a second, but I have a Fu Manchu lionfish, which is a cool little unit. He's an absolute guts. He eats way too much because everyone at the shop loves to see him eat and customers love to see him eat. So he eats so much prawn. And he honestly, like, I love a fat fish, but he possibly could go on a diet. So he's getting to the point where he actually looks like he might be unhealthy. So we might cut him back a little bit soon. Got a gold snowflake, eel in there as well, which, to be honest, you only see about 4 inches of him when you put food in the tank. He grabs a bit of prawn and takes off again. I did build a special little highly decorated pipe that fit in around the main bommy in that tank and decorated it with rocks and everything, so it looked all cool. Make a nice little home for him. And the cheeky bug has never gone in the pipe. He's made tunnels under the pipe and he's happy there. So ultimately, it's still doing what I wanted it to do. It's created a home for the eel, just not the way I saw it happening.
Not a home that's used, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's kind of like building someone a beautiful house and then they pitch a tent in the backyard. It's like, I guess you still got a home, but I don't know. He's happy, so I should be too. He just grinds my gears every time I see him. Just look at the entrance of that pipe and go, nah, not going in there. The hermit crabs go in through the pipe and grab any food I put in the pipe. They go in after it, but that's all right. What do we got to now? New additions? No, yeah,
You're going to
new
tell us
additions.
about a fish that you just put into that tank.
Yeah,
new additions into the predator system. I picked up a little frogfish that was already named from the reefer that I bought him off. He called him Titleist because he looks like a golf ball. He's not I was going to say he's not the color of a golf ball, but I guess golf balls come in all sorts of colors. He's a little pink frogfish that is about the size of a golf ball. He got rehomed because he ate a harlequin tusk, which was twice the size of the golf ball. And
Wow.
That's impressive.
It was still a juvenile harlequin tusk, but yeah, it was literally twice as long as him. And yeah, he was all distorted for like a week while he was trying to process it. So he was looking for a new home, and I figured he's not going to eat an eel, and he's unlikely to eat a Fu Manchu. And apparently, the tank he came out of had a Fu Manchu that was like half the size of the one that's in this system, and he didn't even look at him. So put him into the tank, and that's cool. It's a very different style of tank. Like, there's 3 fish in that system now, and you can look at the tank for a good couple of minutes before seeing any of the fish.
Yeah. That's cool, though.
The eel,
that's like a little treasure hunt, isn't it?
It is a bit,
Where's
like
Wally?
the frogfish is very camouflaged, and he's pretty small too. And he obviously doesn't swim. He just sits there. He's one of those fish that you see the memes, where they push their 2 arms outwards and they just sit there. So yeah, he just sort of finds a nook and sits there. The Fu Manchu likes to sit up under one of these soft corals. He always likes to hang upside down under that thing. So you almost have to know where he is to see him. And the eel only comes out when there's food. But it's a cool tank nonetheless. And enjoying it. So it's going well. Coming back to the Dream Reef tank, talking about some changes on it. I've had a few challenges with that tank of late, and some of them are my own. Well, I mean, ultimately, everything's your own creation in this game. It's all the problems are always something that you've ultimately done somewhere along the line. But it's been well documented and well known that I've let that tank sort of outgrow quite a bit. And it did sort of get to the point where it started to create a few issues, a bit of coral warfare, obviously a lot of clogging of flow, blocking of light, just some real thick, dense, very, very large SBS colonies in there that SBS is it's a silly coral. Like it, you make conditions happy, so it goes, oh great, I'll grow to a point where I'm not happy, and then get upset. Like it just clogs itself off, blocks light from itself. It's silly. So I've got too many corals in there and too many big colonies in there that I need to strip back. But then you get to a bit of a conundrum where, because SBS is so delicate, that if I strip out like 30 or 40 kilos of SBS, it throws everything out of whack. So you end up in this little bit of a catch-22 that you can't get out of. And it's easier not to do that. So you sort of let it go and it gets even more clogged up. But then I did run into some trouble. I mean, I've always had some pests in that tank. And when I say pests, I'm talking like bryopsis, bubble algae, aptasia. And as soon as you get a bit of coral warfare and things stinging each other and some die-off, those pests really come in and take over. And you start to see some struggles there. So I did a little while ago, and I'd say a little while ago, probably 2 or 3 months ago, do a fluconazole treatment on that tank to wipe out the bryopsis again. That was successful. In fact, very successful. Wiped the bryopsis out very, very nicely. Didn't have any coral losses immediately after that, but I've definitely seen some coloration issues over the last month or so. And it's got me to the point where I do wonder sometimes, particularly with medication treatments, you upset the balance of different bacterias and things like that. And it's through some of the stuff I've done with DNA testing on reef tanks, I know that you can have strains that would be considered an issue, but they just kind of sit there dormant waiting for their opportunity. Yeah, just waiting for the temperature to go up a little bit, or for this trace element to be in abundance or in depletion, and then they take hold. And I suspect I'm going through a bit of that now. I've got some SBS that it's still growing. It still has polyps out. It's just not as vibrant as it should be. Despite the fact that it's not getting anywhere near enough flow and it is shading itself, it still should be more colourful than it is. So I'll potentially tackle that with a Cipro treatment and then try and load up with some good bacterias. And I see Gareth Barber is doing a really cool Australian developed 2-part bacterial dosing system for either quickly establishing new tanks, helping tanks settle if you've moved them, or helping sort of old tank syndrome. And I'd say mine possibly comes into that old tank syndrome. So that's some of the plans for that tank. Along with it needs a trim back. It's that problem hasn't gone away. And I have toyed with the idea of just trimming things back, which will make it look kind of ugly. Like if you cut a 2-foot colony down to 6 inches, it doesn't look as pretty. It doesn't look as nicely curated. It looks, well, you got this massive thick trunk there, and it's only, it just looks like someone giving you a thumbs up in the tank as opposed to a nice dainty little branch. So that's one option. I can really aggressively trim things back. I could take out almost all of the coral in sections and reboot it, and go through that fun that Jarred talks about in being able to buy coral again for your tank, which is not something I've been able to do for that one for a while. Or I toyed with the idea of the enjoyment I've had with my softy predator tank, and seeing people's tanks like Sam Philp's, Michael Newen down here. It's still one of the highest viewed videos on my tank is Michael's soft coral 4 or 5 foot tank.
Stunner.
yeah, I sort of go, do I take it out and go soft coral just for something? Because I don't want to say I've never done it because I have a little bit in the UNS tank, but a 7 foot long soft coral tank could be something different. And
Mm.
like I said, but the corals I put into that soft coral tank at Deer Park, I don't know anything about them. I don't know the species. I don't know the variants. I don't know the care requirements. So it feels like a whole new aspect of the hobby that has me tempted to put more than my toe in the water. But I'm still working my way through that. I'm not sure what the next step is, but I'll get through this bacterial challenge. I'll do at least a bit of a trim to get things to the point where they're at least happy again, and then I'll assess and go from there.
Nice, good plan, I think.
Yeah, big things happening.
Yeah, you're at a bit of a crossroads, aren't you?
It is most definitely a crossroads, yeah. Which is it's scary, but it's also it's exciting as well.
Exciting,
Like yeah. It's I guess the downside is yeah, when your tank's full and things are doing what they should be doing, you're not needed, which is a good thing, but it's also boring.
Mm.
Um, and as you say, yeah, you're not buying corals, you're just sitting there watching them grow. And then they grow and they get too big and you can't be bothered cutting them. And it's a silly thing to complain about, but it's a different aspect of the hobby. So the concept of stripping it out and going either with SBS again, mixed again, or softies again is super, super exciting. So I think I've finally convinced myself I am at the point where once I get past, I don't want to go in there and hack things back when I know at least a lot of other people come over, look at the tank and go, oh, it looks great. But I know looking at it, I'm like, it's far from great. It's probably running at 70% right now. The colors and the polyp extension. If I go on and cut it when it's at 70%, I suspect things will go pretty bad. So I want to get it as healthy as it can be and then cut it back. Plus, the other side is I don't want to throw the bits that I cut out in the bin. And I don't want to sell or give people corals that I know are, well, I suspect are not quite right at the moment. So I'll get my backyard in order and then we'll go the hack. And what goes in after the hack, I'm not exactly sure just yet.
Interesting.
Yeah, nice.
I think what you touched on there, it really highlights that the entire process is a journey.
Absolutely.
So many people like kind of start their tank and they go, I can't wait until it's grown in. Like this thing's going to look so good when it's grown in, but they forget about the journey beforehand. And then you finally get to that point where like your tank, it's grown in.
Yes.
And you're now actually sitting there going, but I missed the early stages now. I missed buying coral. I missed seeing things grow. Like I could almost do away with this entire overgrown tank and go back to step one nearly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just didn't enjoy the entire process of it because it's like anything. Like even you guys both have kids as well, like I've got the oldest out of all the kids. My eldest daughter's 18 and you, when they're toddlers, you kind of go, I can't wait until they're out of the house and doing their own thing and they can cook themselves dinner. And then they get to 18, you kind of go, I wish they were toddlers again.
Yeah, go back.
Yeah.
So
the grass is always greener.
Yeah. So, but it's going to be interesting to see what you come up with on that. It'd be a shame to see the tank not what it is, like for you to kind of strip it back and go something completely different. But that is also super exciting as well. Now, you've got a YouTube channel that you've got to think about and you've got to stay relevant with that as well too. So
yeah, well, it's funny when I shut my last display tank down, in my opinion, I shut it down at its peak, which is equally a difficult decision to do when the tank looks absolutely incredible and it is grown to the point where it's not overgrown, but it's fully grown and colors are popping and fish are all balanced and no arguments. And then you go, I'm going to shut it down and start all again. I feel with this system, I've let it go too far. And that's probably because it got there considerably quicker than my last tank. My last tank took 7 years and it still hadn't grown in too much, where this one probably hit that point at the 4 to 5 year mark. And I've just let it go another year and a half from there. And now it's to the point where it's creates issues. But that's cool. Like all the bones are still there. It's all good. I've just gotta just be mindful of how you strip things down whilst, like, I'm not gonna reboot the tank as in, like, dry it out and start
Yeah.
completely fresh. Um, so that's something I haven't really done before, as in par back a running tank, try and sort
Yeah.
of boot it in position. So,
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. I'll definitely follow the advice of some experts in the field and make sure we get it as right as we can, because I know it won't be perfect. Things never go to plan,
Mm.
completely, but try to minimize the stuff ups would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plan for the best, expect the worst.
Exactly. Yep. That's my life.
Well, that's cool. Any, I know you're always getting equipment and stuff to test and try. Is there anything that's come off that tank and been replaced or anything like that? Or
New
I'm trying to
products.
think. Yeah, so I've got the stuff I'm dosing at the moment. Trace elements are all East Coast corals, trace elements. My main three are uh, totally mind blanked at the moment. Aquaculture Kings is the word I'm looking for. They do a alkalinity, calcium, magnesium with trace, so I'm using those as my big three dosing. So that's newish for me in the product wise. Um, some other equipment that I'm looking at. I'm looking at this fancy new CO2 controller slash regulator.
mm,
Um,
Mm.
Basically all in one system for your calcium reactor, bubble counter, gas regulator, and pH controller all built into one with some highly programmable things on it. So
mm.
You'll love
it's
that. Anything programmable, you'll love.
yeah, it's a little bit high tech, and it does originate from another country, so the learning curve is a challenge at the moment. Um,
Is it
so
designed for reef tanks or is it a freshwater thing that's come across? Or
it has been designed with both in mind,
okay,
so it can operate in either methodology, and you can program it to do obviously just pH,
yep.
turn things on or off for that, or you can turn it program it to run off a volume of CO2, so it actually measures the bubbles.
Oh well,
And you can,
Mhm.
yeah, have, instead of it just being an on off thing, you can say, during these times, I want you to run the calcium reactor at 6.4 pH, but at this time to that time, I want you to run it at 6.7, or, um, and of course, gives you alarms if the bottle runs out, like push notifications, things like that. So that's got a really high potential. I've
mm,
just got to
Yeah.
try and wrangle it. And because it is a brand new product, and um, my video is not out yet, I don't have a video to look at. So there's a little bit of a language barrier there. If I can get through that, we'll be looking at a pretty revolutionary thing.
mm, very cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That is a good little recap on all of our tanks there, and
Lots happening.
lots
Yeah.
happening there. Yeah, so we do another one of these probably early next year. You might be talking about three completely different tanks. Sam Philp might have his 8-foot softy tank. My
You
tank might be
beauty.
fully grown and having the problems that Sam is, and Sam
Mine'll
might
be stripped
might
back
be
to,
stripped back. So
or it could be the soft coral tank that Sam Philp wants.
yeah, just
Oh,
Yeah.
really
I'll be a
drive
little bit
home
jealous, I reckon.
the idea for him.
I don't know. I definitely get romanticized on the soft coral path, just because it's something that I haven't ever really done before. And when I do see systems like Sam Phillips and Michael Newlands, I get so intrigued by them. But then whenever I see SBS unboxing, or even
Mm,
online, I just say like a post from Eastwood of the fresh wild
Mm.
SBS, I don't know if I can give it up.
yeah,
It's just
especially when they don't mix too well together, like
no.
softies and
That's
SPS,
the
like
other thing.
very
Yeah,
Yeah.
very
yeah.
different. Like you could have a mixed tank with like what you have, like
Mm.
torch and hammer and
Yep.
chalice and all kinds of things. But yeah, a softy SPS tank is
Yeah,
wildly different.
absolutely, yeah. So, I don't know, I have to pick one poison at some point in time, I guess.
I don't think I've actually seen a really large, like your size tank, like a 1,400 litre
Mm.
softy dedicated tank. I don't.
I know, right? It'd be cool, hey?
It would be
Mm,
cool. It would be very cool.
super jealous.
It's just, I guess the question is, can we get enough diversity of soft corals in Australia here
Yeah.
to make it work?
Mm,
That is the one thing that I saw when bringing soft coral in at Bespoke was like you kind of order what you think are different
Mm.
softies, and you're just like, "Oh, I've got 10 of these already,"
Yeah,
like
yeah,
because a lot of the time you are buying assorted softies, or you're buying a toadstool or a finger leather or something like that, and
yep.
you're wanting a different color variant, or you're wanting something, and you're just like, it's just a slightly different size. It's the same thing. So
Mm.
I'd love to see, a more variety come into shops with that kind of stuff, or even a little bit more classification around what they are. So when you order it, you know very specifically what you're
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
as well. But I think, like you said, Sam Philp, that so much is just not known about softies still, right?
yeah, that's exactly right. And there's a soft coral guide that's come out. A guy in the US has done it, and I think it was on show
Yeah.
at Fragorama. Is that right?
Yeah, it could have been actually, yeah.
I think it was. I haven't actually got that yet. I'm going to purchase it soon, but apparently it's quite detailed in terms of not. I'm guessing it's going to have some Australian types of soft corals in it, but I think it's got a lot of it. But it's funny because you know how you're saying, Jared, that you'd order stuff in and it'd just be a smaller version. I can tell you so many times I've purchased smaller versions of the corals that I have, and then I've grown them out and gone, "Oh, you're the same. Sell that. Let's start again and get another one and see if it's any different." But
Yeah.
there's the diversities out there. Like I've seen it in the
Yes,
wild, and I've started to see it now. I've really been like researching it, and I would be
yes.
confident to say I have 50, 60 species of
Oh,
different soft coral in my tank.
Yeah.
that's enough for me.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
50, 60s, that's a good variety.
yeah, yeah. Some of them are just like different color variations of the same species, but
Yes,
there's definitely
yes.
they're out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I suppose the cool thing about like a 7-foot softy tank would be you could just have like a 2-foot wide kind of
Oh,
to- toadstool, or
Big
a
toadstool,
devil's
yeah.
hand or something like that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like
yeah.
that would be
showpiece
so
kind of.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Well, I'm not going to talk you into anything. I'll let you make that decision. But
Like I said, it depends. Every time, a box of SPS comes in, I'm like, I'm on the SPS train. And then you see a nice soft coral tank. Let's do that. I don't know. Like I
yeah.
said, I'll point one way eventually.
Yeah.
Well, that's all of our updates on our tanks. And if you want to hear more, then ask us questions on the socials. We're happy to answer any questions that you might have on
You bet.
anything that we briefly touched on tonight. We
Mhm.
didn't try to go into too much depth because we'd each talk probably for 2 hours each on every specific coral and every specific fish we have, and all of our
Absolutely.
methodologies and stuff. But we have spoken about it before, so it might be a good chance for you to get back into one of the older episodes and brush up a little bit more. This was just more of an update on everything for you. So,
Mhm.
guys, we have episode 34 coming up in 2 weeks' time, and
Nice.
we're going to be talking about macroalgae.
Yeah, cool.
Mm.
Yeah. Something that I don't think enough people, I guess not everyone knows a lot. When people talk about macroalgae with Chaeto or Caulerpa, and I think stuff like Dragon's Breath has kind of started to come in a little bit, but we don't know a whole lot about it. I'm going to actually have to do a little bit of research for the episode to make it worthwhile, but it's worth talking about, right? Like, because it's starting to kind of gain a little bit of traction. There's macroalgae dedicated tanks happening, and
That's it.
you're starting to see it available in shops and things as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exciting
Yeah.
on that macro front because it's big overseas, or there's a lot
Yeah.
available overseas, but here itself there's not much, but it's starting to really grow, isn't it?
yeah,
It is.
well, we literally buy it for nutrient export. Refugiums is about it. So
True.
to see people kind of showcase it in a different way is cool, and we learn more. And like we said in the last episode, we got people like Raving Reefs who dedicate their time into educating people on different macroalgae and what they do and what they need and things like that. So definitely worth talking about. So we'll talk about that in episode 34, macroalgae.
Exciting.
Nice.
Looking forward to it.
Mm.
Lastly, what we've got is the Only Reefs giveaways. The
Yes.
last two $100 vouchers going out in this episode. So very, very big thank you to Mariah at Only Reefs. She's got some cracking coral on that website. For anyone who wants to take a look, it's www.onlyreefs.com.au.
It's the one.
And yeah, she's got SPS, she's got LPS, she's got some. She got Zoas. I think she's got some Zoas.
She does,
So
yeah.
she's got some softies there.
Mhm.
She's got some merch. She's got some of her own merch. She's got some of the submerged merch. She's got the lot. So if you like Gonny, that's the place to shop for
It
sure.
is, absolutely.
The
Mhm.
Gonny selection. If you like Weird and Wonderful and Chimera and whatever, she's got it. So it's worth
Yeah.
taking a look.
And I can say, as a non-Goni enthusiast, sometimes when I see these pictures of Gonis and the crazy names associated with them, I'm like, that kind of looks the same as the other one.
Mm.
Having seen Mariah's collection in person, I can see that they're all vastly different. There's some absolutely ridiculous Goni in that store's vault. So if you've been collecting Goni like Pokemon, that's the place where you got to go.
Yeah, Mariah's got them all.
She's got them all. Yep.
She's doing something a lot of other places don't do. She's really showcasing some really cool Alveopora and even I think maybe some Banatopora as well.
Yeah. She's got
Which
great
doesn't
variety.
get the love, like I think you said in your video, equally as beautiful as some of the Goni she has in that system.
Some of those toxic green alveos that she has are crazy. Like the extensions on them were massive. And they were like a $50 piece or something. Don't quote me on that. It could be, might be $60 now after the video. Who knows? But to me, they were like, okay. I could see the excitement of a $500 plus high end super toxic orange Goni, but I tell you what, the $50-$60 green alveo that looked like almost like a torch. The extensions were that long on it. It was epic.
Maybe a Goni Alveo tank on the horizon, Sam?
Yeah.
Not with that angel. He really likes to eat them.
Yeah, fair enough.
And now that she's got a shop front, I'm sure that website is only going to double, triple, whatever. It's already good, but she's only going to have more room for more stock soon. So,
more room for more stock and also more access to stock now that she has a bricks and mortar store.
Yes.
A lot of the wholesalers will only sell to bricks and mortar stores, not online stores. So people that are not in Adelaide that can't go to the bricks and mortar store have the benefit of her buying power for having a bricks and mortar store, but still making it available online. So best of both worlds.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the two winners we've got is so everyone knows we done a winner off Facebook and a winner off Insta. The winner off Facebook is Morgan. Congratulations.
Hey, congrats.
Morgan.
Well done.
And our winner off Instagram is Salty Memoirs.
Ooh.
Nice.
Either ourselves or Mariah will be in touch with you soon to get you one of these $100 gift vouchers. So
beautiful.
Congratulations and thanks again, Mariah and Only Reefs.
Thank you.
Well done, everyone.
Yeah. That's everything we got. Lastly, I'll just kind of touch on we have the YouTube channel. It's up. It's pumping out videos. We've got 10 or so videos on there now, including maybe 11, including this one. There's not a lot of love on there just yet, but I know it's fairly new. So if you're listening to this on Spotify just at least get on there and give us a like and subscribe and stuff. Help us kind of tick that over a little bit. And who knows, you might like that format better. You might want to see our ugly faces. And
Yeah. Who wants that?
but I'll start to edit these a little bit better. And as I kind of get better with it, I'll add videos and footage and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully this episode looks decent, and I'll only get better with it, and I'll start adding a little bit more, something worthwhile, watching, rather than just three guys and a girl chat to each other. So yeah,
sounds good.
Nice.
As always, if you need to contact us or you need to stay updated, we do so via our socials with Facebook and Instagram. And again, if you are after some merch, there is still a little bit available on the Only Reefs website. There's two different designs, and some sizes still available. Some are sold out, but there's still a little bit there. So
beautiful.
Nice.
Other than that, guys, that is everything. Thanks for being with me tonight on this episode.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks to the listeners for listening or watching. And we'll catch you all on the next one. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to catch us again in a fortnight for the next episode. Find us on all our socials for more updates.